What's up, everybody? Welcome into More Sports. I'm Wes Moore. Glad you're with us tonight. Got a busy night, so we're going to get right to it tonight. Some things you need to know. Arkansas still number 20 in the rankings after their loss against Florida, and this is it. This is the last night we're talking about the Florida loss. I'm sick of talking about it, so we're not going to do it anymore. Still the number 1 5 seed on Lenardi's bracket. So the loss didn't do anything to the rankings or the bracket for Arkansas. So that's the good news. A lot of respect, of course, for Florida and playing Florida on their home court. We're going to hear from Manny Watkins tonight, the former Razorback, and you hear him on the broadcast for the Razorbacks, sometimes for TV. He'll be joining us here in a bit. Got to talk to Manny earlier tonight. Also, we'll talk a little about the NFL draft. How about the combine? Those Razorbacks just showing out. Taylon Green, Mike Washington. That was awesome to watch on Saturday. And the Diamond Hawks bounced back after losing Friday. And they got the bats going, scoring 20 runs in the last 2 games. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I want to thank our sponsors real quick. We'll start with Centennial Bank. You see the ticker there? I'm ready to update that ticker really quickly because of that Florida score. Can't wait for Wednesday and get the Texas score up there. Hey, Centennial Bank, it's strength, consistency, and a commitment to building trust. That's Centennial Bank. For generations, Arkansans have relied on Centennial Bank for steady guidance, local decision-making, and financial solutions that stand the test of time. From personal banking to business and home loans, Centennial Bank is built on relationships that last. Discover the strength of a bank that believes trust is earned every day. Visit my100bank.com or stop by your local Centennial Bank member FDIC. And a lot of people are focused on security these days. You want to make sure your family, your home is secure. I trust the people at A Plus Alarm and Security Services. I've been using them for over 20 years now and never had one single issue with them. They are good at what they do. They do commercial, they do business, they do security systems. They did my camera, my alarm system. They'll take care of you. A Plus truly is the key to peace of mind. Call them at the number on your screen or visit aplusalarm.net. And a big thank you to Gwatney Buick GMC. March is here, and they're ready to do some dealing. Had a great weekend. Go to the website, GwatneyBuickGMC.com. Take a look at all their inventory. You can see all the deals that they have. They're always ready to make a deal for you. That's why year in, year out, they're one of the best Buick GMC dealers in the state. GwatneyBuickGMC.com is the website. Check them out. Then head to the 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. It's right next to Sam's Club. Easy to get to. And check out the vehicles that they have. Tell them you saw this on More Sports. They're ready to deal with you. They've been supporting me since the beginning. They make this possible, so pay it forward. Go see my friends at Gwatney Buick GMC. Let's get this show started and bring in Manny Watkins.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's More Sports.
Let's bring in former Razorback Manny Watkins. He joins us tonight on More Sports. First of all, Manny, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking a little hoops with us.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I always enjoy having these conversations.
Well, I said it early, Manny, but I'm going to say it once again. This is it. This is the last time I'm talking about the Florida game. I'm tired of talking about that game.
I know, me too. That one, you play in the SEC. You're gonna have. I was telling a friend the other day, like you're going to have 1.5 to 2 of those games over the course of an 18-game SEC schedule, where it's like burn the tape, throw it out. You went on the road, they couldn't miss, nothing went well for you. You just have some of those, and they're never fun. And you come home and you're like, okay, that was awful. But then you just kind of got to right the ship and keep going. It's a long season, but yeah, that was a rough one.
Manny, has the team already moved on from the Florida game? Is it just the fans who have a hard time still talking and thinking about that Florida game?
Yeah, I mean, as a player, you don't really have an option. Like, I'll be honest, there were some games when I was playing that, like, by the time you get on the plane to head back, you're kind of like, you're reflecting on it, but you're like, hey, that one's done. Like, we got to move on. You don't really have a choice because the games come fast. And if you let it linger, a little too long, like it's not going to go well for you. So yeah, the players are 100% moved on. When you play like a full college season or an SEC season, you tend to, as a player, not get too up and down. Like even after a big win, you beat a ranked team, or you have a really good game or a really good stretch of wins. I know the Hogs have been playing well. Like you tend to have to, on the other end of the spectrum, not get too high when you're doing well. So like even when the bad losses come, or a loss that was just really bad, like Florida, or a game you really shouldn't have lost, like you have to have that same mentality on that end as well as on the end when it's good. So to answer the question, yeah, like definitely the players are kind of moved on. Now you got to go watch the film. You got to go figure out why what happened. But in terms of just like thinking about it, like nah, they're on to Texas, on to the next practice. That's the mentality.
Florida's really good. Obviously, we saw that, and their interior, their front court's great. And I knew they were going to give Arkansas problems on the in the front court. I thought the back court, though, Arkansas if they
Yeah.
were going to win this game or to be competitive, the back court would have to outplay Florida's back. That was the biggest disappointment to me. I thought Arkansas's guards would play better. What did you see?
Yeah, I thought so too. And really at the beginning of the game, I was like, okay, like they came ready to
Mm-hmm.
play. Like it kind of started off really good. And like I've been pretty critical of Florida's guards this year. I kind of thought like being honest, like a little overrated on that side. I know, Boogie's over there, but like I kind of thought like it's really the front court that's driving, and then like the guards are just kind of not
Mm-hmm.
like messing it up. But no, they played well. That's the one thing, and I think why Florida is good is because like while I think people think, or myself, but I do think the guards are a little overrated in terms of the consistency throughout the balance of a 30 game season. But they do have these peaks where what could happen with a game like Arkansas, where the backcourt plays to the utmost full potential. Boogie Flangs, Avian Lee, like those guys, like have boom bust potential. So like I think that's what kind of makes Florida the scary team is the front court's going to bring it every night. I think those guys are really good. They're like one of the biggest teams in the country. It's the back court that is a little bit inconsistent, and Arkansas just kind of ran into one of those days where the front court had kind of that boom moment, and then it showed in the score. And I'll be honest, like Boogie on the other side, like there's probably some extra motivation just coming from that locker room as like a hey former team, like that happens all the time, like with transfers and you go up
Mm-hmm.
against the old team, like kind of everyone feeds off of it because they want to like help you kind of get the last laugh. So yeah, I was a little disappointed, but at the same time I'm not surprised because like Florida does have that like boom potential. That's why they're ranked where they are.
Acuff struggled with his shot, and I think he struggled a little bit with their size, and when he was driving into the paint. How do you think Acuff bounces back?
um like I think what most people expect him to. I think he's the best guard to come through Arkansas. Like I know I don't want to be prisoner of the moment or hyperbolic on that, but just like the skill set. And
Yeah.
I was telling someone the other day, I was like, yeah, I'm finally willing to give the title. Like Acuff was better than me. Like I'll go ahead and say it. He's he was better than me. No, no, but I expect him to bounce back. Like very well. He's gonna have a big game against Texas. I think his demeanor, cool, calm, and collected, helps him, not get too high or too low. And honestly, beyond his years throughout the SEC season, he's just super mature. So I expect a big game for Texas, and then like him to actually string along a few big games. Like now we're into March, and as we start getting closer to tournament time.
He would never say it, but do you think his ankle's bothering him?
So I'll just tell you from experience, and this is me like I was, junior, senior. So I've had, call it 2.5, 3 years of like the weight training, the diet, and things like that. He's coming in from like a high school kind of training regimen. Now, I don't know what he was doing in his free time. Obviously, he was probably locked in there, but like it's just different in college. So like he's definitely not 100%. Like you're dinged up. I remember my senior year, we were playing in the NCAA tournament. I had plantar fasciitis so bad. in my right foot that like it was like I just woke up knowing like, all right, well, I'm gonna limp everywhere all the time. And then when the game goes, like I'll get my Advil or whatever, my ibuprofen, my four of those, and then hope the adrenaline kicks in because like you just gotta keep playing through it. So yes, his ankle probably hurts. But that's not something that he'd ever would be like, hey, that's hindering my gameplay. Like I feel like I should be able to do everything I normally do.
If Arkansas can finish strong and get a top 4 seed in the SEC tournament and get they wouldn't have to play until Friday, so
Yeah,
you'd be
it's
off
good.
Saturday until Friday. Is that enough? Right? Does that help? I know they're practicing and doing things,
Yeah.
but is that a kind of a welcome rest for these guys?
Yeah, it's helpful. You definitely want to get the double bye. Um, I had it two times in my career, and it's definitely helpful. And like the team that you play against comes in, and it's a little bit of an advantage. They like have the advantage of playing a game, so like obviously that helps them. But once you start playing, you play every single day, and I think we played Ole Miss our first game my senior year, and like you could tell after like 5 minutes 6 minutes into the second half they were getting a little gassed. So I think it's helpful, and especially in a rotation like Arkansas where we don't necessarily play that many guys every single day, where you can kind of get some of that rest as you get into the tournament time where you're playing multiple days in a row, is important. And like the injury bug is just kind of plagued us a little bit this year, so any of those days is going to be helpful.
What do you see out of this team for the postseason? Do you like the makeup?
I love the makeup. I love the makeup of the team. I really wish Carter was available. I think he adds a dynamic, just an athletic dynamic that a lot of teams can't match up. I think that's like what St. John's ran into last year. Like they ran into all these athletes and they were just like, wait, we
Mm-hmm.
hadn't seen this. And Carter's, arguably one of the most athletic players on the team and in the SEC. So I think that's a blow if we can't have him on the court. But I mean, I'll be honest. I think if they are healthy enough going into March, and obviously draw matters, like who you draw as your opponent, like I think the team is an Elite Eight team, and then once you get to the Elite Eight, like you could be a Final Four team, in my opinion. Like I don't. I think if you can get to the Elite Eight, you can get to the Final Four. Um, I like. I think they have the talent. Like they've got the NBA talent. They've got the shooting ability. We've got a Billy Richmond, someone who can do all the dirty work. We have some size. Like I think you have all the right makeup. Um, it's just like, all right, can you play your best ball at the right moment, and then kind of who you draw. So that like I'm really bullish on this team. Last year I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have said that. Like the fact that they got to the Sweet 16, I was like kind of like, oh wow, like I didn't think we had that in us. This year, I like getting to an Elite Eight would be awesome, but my personally wouldn't be surprised.
Billy Richmond, you mentioned him. How about that run? 5 straight games over 20 points. He's taking his game to a whole different level. What have you seen out of him?
He just like what I don't think Billy gets a ton of credit for that I think he should is his basketball IQ. Like everyone sees the athleticism, the junkyard dog, like the ability to like have a high motor. I think all those things make a ton of sense, but like he knows how to play the game. Like he knows when to go for steals. He knows when to attack the offensive glass. He knows how to make the right passes. He knows when to shoot versus not shoot. He knows when to cut. He gets so many baskets cutting. Like if I was a
Mm-hmm.
younger player, he is someone that I would like watch, and not just for like the dunks and the highlight plays. Like he knows how to play basketball, and those 20 points, like they're very opportunistic. Like he's not jacking a bunch of shots. He's not like getting it because he's shooting 20 shots or getting to the free throw line a ton. Like he's getting it very strategically and efficiently, and he's very impressive. I like he's quickly become one of my favorite players in the country. Like I love watching him play. He's so good.
Manny, I'm afraid we're going to be watching him play in the NBA next year and not
Yeah,
in
I
Arkansas.
know. I know. I would not have said that at the beginning of the year, but like
No.
he's gonna get scooped up. Like, yeah, I agree with you.
The way he is just the last, what, 3 weeks now, just
Hmm.
exploded. And
Yeah.
they very rarely run plays for him, but I did notice
No.
against Florida early on when they had Condon matched up on him, they're like, give Billy the ball, go. And he
Go.
just took
Yeah.
Condon to the basket. And,
Hmm.
man, and when you have somebody like that who's getting 20-something points a game, and he's just getting, and I don't want to call them trash points, but they're not running
Yeah.
plays for him. He's just doing it on his
No.
own.
Yeah. It's very impressive and fun to watch. And like I keep like the realist in me is like, all right, like because they're not really running plays, they're not really doing a lot for him. Like it's okay. Next game he'll get 4 or 6 points, and we'll go back to like
Right.
kind of what like no, the dude just keeps figuring out a way to impact the game, and I love it because it's not just scoring. Like he makes all the right defensive plays. He grabs a bunch of rebounds. Like yeah. If I'm a GM in the NBA, like he's on my draft board. Full stop.
How do you feel about the Texas game Wednesday night?
I feel really good about that game. I think they're better than Texas. I have not. I've only watched Texas a few times this year, so like I don't have a ton of context on how good they actually are. But and I know they like have won some good games and have also lost some games that have been rough. But I like at home. I think coming off of a bad loss, whenever you have a bad loss, you're kind of hyper focused on, hey, we got to make sure we clean up some of those things that we did bad in the previous game. So I think that mix of being at home, mix of just, I personally think Arkansas is just a better all around team, more talent, just a better team than Texas. Like I think it is. They get a win, and it's not necessarily that close, in my opinion.
I'm a little nervous about Missouri, though. Going to Missouri, the last
Hmm.
game of the season, that could
Tough
be a
one.
tough one.
Tough one. That one will be tough. Kind of this like pseudo rivalry with Missouri, Arkansas, and Missouri's like kind of a sleeper team. Like there are a lot of people's like sleeper team to like maybe make a run in the SEC tournament. I think they kind of been under the radar, but they beat a lot of good teams, and they have obviously my dad coached at Missouri for a long time. That home court advantage is underrated when they're good. Like when they're good and the fans are bought in, like Mizzou Arena
Hmm.
is an underrated, 14,000 people. It's not small, and they pack it out. Which for the last game of the year, they're having a good season. I'm sure they will. It's underrated. So yeah, that one's gonna be tough. That one's gonna be tough. I think Arkansas is a better team than Missouri. Now you go on the road, so that's always tougher. But if Arkansas does what they can do and they can execute, I think they have a really good chance to win. But senior night, like it's just tough.
Manny, thanks, man. This was fun. Love picking your
Yeah, I
brain, talking a little
appreciate it.
basketball. And you actually made me feel a little better after that game Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I enjoy this anytime.
Strength isn't built by chance. It's built step by step, choice by choice. At Centennial Bank, we believe it's the everyday actions, done with care, done consistently, that lay the foundation for something greater. That's how we build trust. That's how we build strength. Let us help you create a strong financial game plan. When we work together, we win together. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Big thanks to Manny Watkins for coming on the show tonight. Really enjoyed talking to him. Kind of picked me up a little bit. Needed to hear something like that. Hopefully you enjoyed it too. Give me the thumbs up there on YouTube. Go subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Also, we have coming up tomorrow. I'm excited about this. Tomorrow we have Chris Turnage, NFL agent. And he was at the combine and got to see firsthand some of these Razorbacks and the performances that they put on. 6 Razorbacks at the combine. Finished up yesterday with Fernando Carmona. I read a lot of great things about him on social media. And, of course, we know what Taylon Green and Mike Washington did. And, man, their stock has to be going up and up and up. That's why I want to get Chris on here, see what he's been hearing. How much did they improve their stock? How much did they help themselves at the combine with their performances Saturday? Man, I had a blast watching the combine and just seeing, man, Mike Washington, how much it meant to him. How cool was that to watch? Good for him, man. I'm happy for both of those guys. Coming up later this week, Thursday night, really excited about Abdou Toure, the future Razorback basketball player. He is going to come on with his coach Thursday, so we'll talk a little Razorback basketball with him, hopefully, after a victory over Texas, and we can get to know Abdou Toure a little bit better, get to know him. Well, I've never even heard from the guy, so I'm excited just to meet him. And then Saturday, got a new segment that's going to be starting, and it's going to be a weekly segment. I'm very excited about it. Locked in with Tay Lockett. Lock it in and get to know the Conway Wampus Cat safety, true freshman, getting ready for spring ball. And we're going to get to know Tay Lockett over the coming months. Who knows? Maybe the coming years. We'll get to really get to know Tay Lockett a lot better. I was looking at this. The early line for Bet Saracen, they do this. It's their Bet Saracen specials under Arkansas specials. They've already got the early line for the Texas game. And I didn't know what to expect, honestly, after what happened against Florida. They have Arkansas favored by 6.5. Okay. Over under on Bet Saracen is set at 170.5. I watched Texas A&M, and Texas was fine slowing it down and playing a methodical half-court game. But they have played some teams like Missouri, like Georgia. They'll get up and run. So I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think Arkansas will do well. If you want to get in on the action over at Bet Saracen, right now for new users only, they have a great sign-up. It is you scan that QR code on your screen. That'll take you to the sign-up page. Use that promo code WEST250. When you bet $25, you get $250 in bonus cash. It's going on right now at Bet Saracen for new users. So if you're watching this on TV, you want to sign up, you haven't signed up on Bet Saracen, scan that QR code and use that promo code WEST250 for the great sign-up offer that they have at Bet Saracen right now. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. That was a busy day. Got a lot in, talked a little basketball, got Manny Watkins, and it's going to be a busy week. Really good week. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. We'll be back here with more sports.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's more sports.